So welcome back to the channel. In this video, taking a look at the Ethereum merge. We've got 7 ways that you can actually increase your exposure and profit off this, not financial advice. This is one of the biggest changes in crypto that we've ever seen, with Ethereum, one of the largest currencies on planet Earth, having a vast change to the way it is emitted, secured, and priced in the market. Effectively, this could be a deflationary currency if network demand gets high enough. I'm sure we will see that in a bullish trend. Maybe not right now, as it is rather bearish out there. However, I do think that this is a huge fundamental change for Ethereum that will have profound effects in the next bull cycle. So we're just 7 days away now, 7 days and 14 hours until this momentous occasion. We're all hoping this goes extremely well and smoothly. If it does, this is obviously a very good thing for the crypto markets. If this goes badly for whatever reason and the merge were to be unsuccessful, then of course that would be a very, very bad situation and the potential for extreme blood in the streets with markets selling off. So let's take a look at Ethereum. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel as we bring you some interesting crypto conversations. Starting here, so Ethereum priced in BTC. As we've seen over the past few months, the strength in ETH versus the Bitcoin pairing has been really, really good. Pushing up towards 0.09 is the kind of precipice where, if we push through that during the next week or so, we could have real fireworks and then get to double digits, 0.1 and above. I think that is the kind of rocket fuel that many are hoping for here. And I think potentially we can get the FOMO in the market around ETH to actually push it up above that. But I want to look at this in terms of its market cap versus Bitcoin here. So it's currently worth 10.18 million BTC. So 10,188,626 Bitcoins is the current market cap for Ethereum. Let's just take a look at this on the scale of global currencies, just to factor in how big of a change this is for a currency. And Ethereum, of course, is a currency. And once we look at it in these terms, it really just opens your mind as to how big of a change this is, with the issuance changing, with security in the hands of stakers. It is a massive, massive deal here. So if we just look at the rest of these fiat currencies priced in Bitcoin market cap terms, and we just scroll down, so 10.18 was the magic number. This would actually put Ethereum between Denmark and Qatar as the 36th, it would pivot in here, the 36th largest currency on planet Earth priced in BTC. So should we be looking at the likes of Bitcoin and ETH as almost sovereign currencies at this point? I think there's good reason to do so, and for a variety of reasons, as Noah Seidman has pointed out here over the last few days. He says ETH is a currency used every second of every day to pay for transactions, contract interactions, and capital transfers worldwide. How many devs are paid exclusively in ETH? How many people are receiving payments on the Ethereum network in stablecoins? I bet you there are millions at this point. And as we see with sovereign nations, the relative easiness of money juices the dollar's value. We've seen as mass global printing of currencies has pushed the DXY higher and higher here, as they are losing value versus the dollar. But what happens when a currency tightens expenses 90%? So this is signaling towards, the triple halving here for Ethereum. The fact that ETH's issuance is going to drop considerably, and we also have the burn mechanism running as well, effectively tantamount to a triple halving in BTC terms. And he says there is a constant demand for Ethereum, non-speculative demand, i.e. people who are actually utilizing the network, and also speculative alike. What's pertinent is a constant demand combined with a significant decrease in availability is like a forex market going illiquid. So we have the scope of this put in, real terms that we can all think of here versus fiat currencies. And this paints a picture that Ethereum versus the dollar and other fiat currencies should really take off in terms of its value over time. Market conditions, you can point to that and say, look, why is it not priced at 4 or 5K, or as, Arthur Hayes points out, 10K plus? In good time, I'm sure that will occur as we think of things in these such terms. So let's jump into the 7 ways you can actually profit from the Ethereum merge here. So not financial advice. We'll get into the section that really is not financial advice, because it is, taking a lot of risks on. But as Bobby Ong, who is the COO of CoinGecko, says, Christmas season is here again with the Ethereum merge, because the fact you're going to get airdropped proof of work tokens if you hold ETH. So if you're looking forward to potentially making a few quid off this, here's some of the reasons and ways you can do so. So first and foremost, to get the proof of work tokens, you must first hold ETH on a wallet that supports this fork. Ideally, you want to hold this in your own custodial wallet, but if that's not possible, maybe you want to, keep it on an exchange, but you really should check your exchange policy to ensure they are supporting the proof of work fork. And, if you're using a small tier exchange and they're known for nefarious business, maybe they'll just keep all the proof of work tokens and you won't get any. Or even worse, you'll get them 6-12 months down the line and this whole hype will have fizzled out. So step one, potentially just hold them in your own wallet or a really reliable exchange, as this will probably eliminate a load of headaches for yourself. Second up here, bridge all your tokens back to ETH mainnet. So if they're on a layer 2, Optimism, Arbitrum, Metis, or even on a different network, maybe you've got some bridged over to AVAX, for example, you're not going to get the ETH proof of work tokens. They need to be on Ethereum mainnet, so do be aware of that. Maybe you've dropped the ball on this one. This is a good time to consider where your ETH is actually held. Then third, unwrap all your wrapped ETH to ETH. Now, wrapped Ethereum will be eligible for the proof of work airdrop. However, as Bobby Ong points out here, the ETH proof of work token, it may not be easily transferred on the proof of work chain. It could provide you with a load of different headaches trying to unwrap it, etc. And so as he says, the best alpha is to try and get hold of the ETH proof of work tokens immediately. So as per instructions 1 and 2, just get it in your own hardware wallet is probably the best on the ETH mainnet. Step 4 is to remove liquidity from DeFi protocols, because if you're in an LP pair, your tokens are wrapped. They are not going to be eligible for the proof of work airdrop. Therefore, you're missing out on potentially a few $100, or depending on the size of your bag, many thousands of dollars. So in the lead up to this event, what we could see is potentially a lot of people cottoning onto the fact, or maybe they're already aware of this, and actually a load of these LP pairs could become illiquid rather quickly. So you may want to act upon this one sooner rather than later. Now, steps 5 through 7 are really not financial advice. Do be aware there are high risks with these kind of things. He points out step 5 could be to borrow ETH from Aave or compounds, because you're going to get the ETH proof of work fork tokens for any ETH held during the snapshot on the 13th. He says this makes sense to borrow as much ETH as possible. Combined with the previous step, I would expect ETH utilization to get to 100%. So on the likes of Aave and Compound, you can see utilization rates. Wrapped ETH utilization rate here is around 68 to 70%. Right now, he expects this to hit 100%, and so there will be, a limited amount of participants who can get involved with borrowing on these DeFi blue chips. But of course, not financial advice. Never bite off more than you can chew, but that is something potentially to consider. Step 6 here is to play the game in terms of staked ETH and ETH market. So Lido staked ETH currently trading at around 0.965 of an Ethereum. It's actually down quite a little bit over, say, the last 90 days here. It fluctuated above like 0.98, now down to around 0.965. And as we go into the merge, we get a bit closer. You're going to probably expect that we'll see various swings, probably to the downside here, as many people want to exit their staked ETH for straight up ETH, making it a lot easier for themselves to get the proof of work airdrop. But as he mentions, if selling becomes too strong, i.e. the staked ETH goes to say 0.90, it's probably going to be more beneficial to actually own more staked ETH and wait for the pair to regain some value afterwards than actually getting the proof of work airdrop tokens. And of course, that would be a lot less speculative, as we have no idea what the proof of work tokens are going to be worth. So monitoring this market, in my opinion, makes a lot of sense, and it's something that I am looking for. If we can get some deep discounts on staked ETH, I don't think they'll get anything silly, but there could be a nice play with that one. And then step 7 here, buy the rumor, sell the fact. So he goes into the fact that maybe speculating on ETH proof of work isn't for you. So the speculation here is that ETH will get bought up crazily into maybe the final hours before the merge, due to the fact people want the proof of work tokens. They want to make a quick buck. I can see there being a lot of FOMO around this. You know how crowds work with consensus trades, especially. People want to pile in at the last minute. So what he's saying here is, rather than claim the proof of work tokens, which you have no idea what they're going to actually be worth, currently trading at around 2.8% of ETH, but they are likely to go lower. Well, what you could do is buy ETH now and then sell it just before the 13th snapshot if ETH has been on a bit of a tear there, you've made a nice bit of profit. Needless to say here, not financial advice for any of those steps. As we've seen previously, proof of work forks have typically gone to waste over time. Bitcoin Hot, Bitcoin Diamond, Bitcoin World, Super Bitcoin. Have you actually heard of any of these now? Nope. They've all pretty much died and faded away. So as he says, my strategy for these fork tokens is to sell them all immediately. Almost all fork tokens are now dead, as they are created solely to keep miners temporarily occupied with mining and have no incentive to grow their community and usage. So do be aware of that. You probably want to get the proof of work tokens to you ASAP. Holding them on your own wallet on the ETH mainnet is probably the most sensible idea here. Not financial advice, but conduct your own diligence. This was a really good thread and an enjoyable one to really muse over here as we go into the merge. Just 7 days, 14 hours and 21 minutes away. Drop me a comment down below. How are you playing the merge? Are you playing the merge, or are you just sitting out of this one? Let me know. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.